sit away alone all by myself. I'm not just gonna stay here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, an announcement inside chat. Official announcement. Gia's new name is Beatrice Annette Nantucket. Yes, she's the original girl from Nantucket, and now is B-A-N in initials. So, Gia, you're officially banned. That's it. Hello, Facebook Karen. Hello, everybody. And special thank you to NCR News Network, who has been spreading the news, and spreading the news, and spreading the news, and spreading the news to the point where we're at 500 subscribers. And in a little bit after this broadcast, I can go ahead and fill out the paperwork for... It says it's going to take a month for them to review the channel and turn on monetization if we actually are up to snuff. So that's what we intend to do. Right. Thank you to everyone for pitching in. Thank you to my partner here, Verbo, my partner in crime every freaking night on this program. Special thanks to Hank, to Shuggy, to Pope Phil too, to Pants, to Gia, to all of our supporters, including your twin with a G, Virgo, Parsons, Mrs. Tom, Gothic Sparrow, Lemon Tart. If I haven't said your name, I will say your name eventually, I'm sure. But thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And
I think you missed somebody, Jim.
Who did I miss? Oh, and Becca. And
no.
Who did I miss?
You missed
Rose
someone
too.
very special. There you go.
I said I was going to get to Rose. I was going to thank you especially. So
okay, I'm sorry.
That's just we. It's a good day. It's a good day, and Rose is a big part of why we keep doing what we're doing. Seeing her every morning between 3 and 5 a.m. when she's getting ready for work. And she's cussing me out because she has to leave the house and I get to sit here and go back to bed. It's the sweetest cursing out you'll ever get. So, yeah. We will be having our special tomorrow night to celebrate 500. You're all invited. Can't promise anything more than the same. We'll be looking at videos, making fun of people, and getting ourselves in trouble again, I'm sure. But you're all invited, and thank you again to NCR for all of his fine work the past couple of days. But then again, thank you all again for the 500 subscription or subscriber grift. Mrs. Tom, only if you provide it, because I'm broke still. It doesn't change things until we're accepted for monetization, and then a month and a half after that, you get your first money if you qualify for it. So, we'll see how much we'll pull in. But we're working, and we're growing, and today we have the return of a bunch of big names that used to be, in the past, they were the ones we'd go to for news, and a lot of them have faded and gone on to different things. So why don't we start with the GoFundMe with someone who never goes away, Mr. Long Island Audit. On me, Long Island Audit takes day again. YouTuber Sean Paul Long Island Audit Riaz support the fight against tyranny and corruption campaign took the top spot in the GoFundMe race again on Sunday with a $100 take for the day. The campaign's only competition came from our own ongoing expenses fund, which took in $25 from an anonymous donor and reignited our streak of anonymous faces who wished to keep us writing this column every day. LIA recently appeared on a Frauditor Troll livestream and denied allegations that he was making millions of dollars off of YouTube and his crowdfunding campaigns. He expressed his concern about the allegations and expressed that he was a simple YouTube creator who made money, but barely enough to support himself and his family off of his endeavors. YouTuber Mark Stout, who was also on the panel, told the audience that Riaz was a trust fund baby and questioned why anyone would support Riaz financially as his family was supporting him and he was making a large amount of money from his YouTube endeavors. Riaz reportedly recently bought a $160,000 billboard truck to support his anti-police campaign without the need for donations from his fans, only opening a crowdfunding campaign for $25,000 after he had purchased the vehicle. The 6 known crowdfunding campaigns belonging to Riaz have brought in a combined $105,000 in donations from supporters since their inception, essentially pulling in double of the money raised by Jose Chille DeCastro in the same time period with a similar amount of GoFundMe campaigns. While Riaz's campaigns have been in decline recently, with sporadic donations observed, he also has a partnership with the Attorney Shield and has a strong following on the Cameo video messaging service. Denying the accusations of great wealth may be strategic, as crowdsourcing is still considered taxable income. Anyone drawing in over $100,000 in donations over the past year may bring a renewed interest from the IRS, who will want a full accounting of taxes paid on that money. On that note, if you'd like to join our tiny collection of hate watchers who have raised less than 2% of Riaz's total GoFundMe take in an effort to keep me writing this column every morning, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on reallycoolsite.org. So, Riaz has taken in over $100,000 in the last year.
And
from GoFundMe
observable
alone.
income.
Yes.
Right.
From GoFundMe alone. And yeah, they take, 2%? GoFundMe always takes... I think out of every 100, I get like 96.50 or something like that. So
right. So an insignificant amount on $100,000 when that's what you're netting.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was something like 105 or 106,000. So it probably rounded down. He made $100,000, and
right.
So, I don't know. When I was in the corporate world, 2 years ago, I wasn't making quite $100,000, but I was there, and it certainly wasn't off of YouTube. It was, a day in, day out job. So, He's making that much just off of GoFundMe's. So, his YouTube better be something much above that.
From what I understand, his YouTube is very profitable, and it has been for some time. So he's making, for a YouTuber, a decent wage off of that as well.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the nice house in a very expensive portion of New York. He's not in New York City, but he's in a very nice area. And he's very comfortable right now. And he bought a $165,000 truck just to harass people with. So, to me, that's well off.
He's doing very fine. And NCR brings up a good point that we forgot about his merchandise.
Yeah, he's got merch. He's got the Cameo, though he hasn't done many of those already. But who the hell? I don't know. I would be kind of creeped out if someone would want me to wish them happy birthday, based on what we do here. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty normal in a chat for someone to say, "Hey, it's my birthday," and everybody wishes them a happy birthday. Someone says it on air. Everybody feels good. You get a little dopamine. You get a little happy birthday.
Yeah, but to
You know,
pay
it's
to pay $50 for a jerk like me to say happy birthday to you or to your
you
husband or
know,
whatever.
I would argue that I see it in super chats all over YouTube. $2.99 super chat, a $5 super chat, and someone says, "Hey, it's my birthday today," and everybody stops what they're doing and wishes them a happy birthday. So it just it happens on YouTube all the time. It's just at a much lower monetary value, you know.
And then he has Attorney Shield. And I've heard nothing but bad things about Attorney Shield, so that.
That might be an interesting episode just to go into what that is, what they put
Oh,
together,
I
what's
did.
the
I've
profitability of
done that
it.
article. I've done that article before. So
Yeah,
we've
I know,
gone
but
into
you
it.
know, pull up the app, look around in it, make it a whole thing.
There's Rose. Hey, Rose. Parsons, you want a happy birthday $4.99? Well, we did turn on tipping, so send me $4.99 and I will get Pope Phil to sing to you. Or I will get Coke Dog to sing to you. One of the two. One of the two. So
Mm.
the birthday, happy birthday, inappropriate song grift. How about that?
Is there the opportunity for a duet
Between who? Coke Dog and someone else?
and Pope Phil?
Oh, probably. Though Hank does the best creepy happy birthday. So maybe, well, it's not a duet, a trio?
Triplet? A trio? Yeah.
A trio, maybe? I
Yeah.
don't know. Let's click story number 2, featuring an old asshole that we all know. And ends Jones hits Irish Demon with privacy strikes. YouTuber Irish Demon confirmed on a Sunday live stream that his main channel had received a multitude of privacy strikes by Daniel Jones of the Welsh News Network based on an incident where Demon visited Jones's house on air in May. The privacy strikes concerned airing of Jones's private life and private information. Demon received warnings that have yet to be resolved and may end up having to edit some of his past streams or take them down to remove the information. He is not expected to lose his channel, though it is a long-term possibility should Jones persist in filing claims against the channel. Demon responded to the strikes by announcing that he would be returning to Wales and apparently confronting Jones at an unannounced time in the future. He said that he wouldn't know which day it was until the day of the event and asked his fans in Wales to stand by should they want to have a gathering on that day. In the broadcast, Demon implied that he had someone who was interested in the charity drives Jones had run in the past and the money taken in for allegedly fraudulent activity. He implied that Jones had previously dodged doing 17 months in prison for similar activity and may face that outcome again. The YouTuber also suggested reviving the charity boxing match that Jones had previously challenged him to take part in, where Jones would put up £10,000 for a charity donation. He later backtracked, saying he didn't want to beat up an old man. Jones and Demon have been at odds for most of the year, which culminated in a series of live streams in May, including one outside of Jones's house in Wales, where Demon exposed claims Jones had made about his personal life and his lifestyle as untruths. The entire cast of the Welsh News Network entered their association with Jones at that time. Former WNN panel members Shuggy, Pope Phil II, and Jim Finch have appeared on Demon's show in support of his efforts to expose apparent untruths promoted by Jones. After having gone quiet for most of the past few months, Jones recently returned to YouTube by putting out a series of motivational videos, along with videos covering the First World War, and resumed airing of out-of-copyright movies on his Welsh News Network channel. Jones nor Demon are directly associated with Really Cool News, Auditing Insanity, or any of the shows produced on the Really Cool Site YouTube channel. So, yeah, that guy is back.
Hmm.
And being an ass. Go figure.
I saw that he has some shorts up that are motivationally done and have artwork that focuses more on a younger crowd.
Yeah, and then he has a bunch of World War One stuff up that no one is actually viewing as shorts. So, you do
Yeah.
you, boo. That's as far as the privacy stuff. What are you gonna do? You gonna sue him? You gonna go after Demon? You're gonna lose. It's just not a fight you want to have right now. You don't want to bring all this shit right back up. And it feels weird talking about
No.
it, but we do need to address it head on from now on. We will not be avoiding reporting on it since our whole role in any of this has ended quite a long time ago. So,
Yeah, ditto on that. Uh, yeah, I don't understand what's happening. I don't know why he's back. I don't know why he feels entitled to be back. I don't know how he can ethically fucking stand in front of anybody. I don't understand. But I'm also not that person.
it's yeah, it's that person being that person. I will say that the he's being accused of running the same sort of thing, or he was accused of running the same sort of thing that Mr. Beast is being accused of, where you have to pay to take part in the giveaways. And that is technically an illegal lottery. And yes, a person with a C and an F in his name was right about that. It's the same type of thing that Dan was running on his own that Mr. Beast is being accused of right now. So that's something that's out there. We'll just leave it at
Yeah,
that.
I don't know here or there with that. The laws are
The laws in
yeah,
Wales, I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I know the laws in the
I
U.S., and I know in U.S., Turtleboy got hit with the same accusations, where you had to
right.
pay to take part in that lottery for, uh, what do you call it? Karen Reed stuff, where they're raising money for her, and then basically you did have to pay up, or else you couldn't win anything. And Becca does have a good point here that Dan did give away a lot of free entries.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, every so often he'd give away for putting something in the chat or whatever, there would be free entries. So let's jump into one or two.
Let's go one. I'm
One
feeling
or two.
odds.
Okay, you've got some disturbing photos in front of you. Castro files for new briefing schedule. In a new filing in Jose Chille DeCastro's Las Vegas-based federal civil rights lawsuit, attorney Michael Mee, representing DeCastro, has filed a request for a supplemental briefing schedule to update the arguments to an existing motion for summary judgment based on the overturning of the conviction of DeCastro for the charges that spawned the case. Despite dire wording, Attorney Mee has filed as a standard procedure as the underlying verdict of the state-level case has been changed since the motion for summary judgment was filed. Essentially, when the motion was filed, DeCastro had been convicted of the crime. Now that the conviction has been overturned, Mee would like to talk about it. Mee's dire statements that the state-level court concluded that the officer's actions were wholly unlawful, and the inclusion of the lower court ruling as an exhibit may have some influence on the case. Judge Andrew Gordon has already ruled on his own that there was probable cause for the arrest and has dismissed almost all of DeCastro's charges against the LVMPD in a mix of dismissal with prejudice and dismissal without prejudice, but with specific instructions on how they should be re-argued. DeCastro then ignored that ruling and essentially filed the same charges again. Mee is simply looking to brief the court on the change of status and how it impacts the arguments for and against the motion for summary judgment at this time. Judge Michelle Levitt overturned DeCastro's conviction of obstructing an officer and resisting arrest last month based on what she claimed to be First Amendment protected conduct. DeCastro had served almost 4 months in the Clark County Detention Center at that point and has threatened to sue Nevada for his wrongful conviction. Levitt's decision has been criticized as the judge has been accused of ignoring basic facts of the case. In her ruling, she stated that arresting officer Brandon Bork arrested DeCastro for refusing to follow commands and back up to a safe distance. She found that because DeCastro backed up after Bork had announced that he was detaining DeCastro, his actions were justification for overturning the sentencing. Judge Gordon, reviewing the same evidence, found that Bork had properly acted in arresting DeCastro. DeCastro is seeking a multi-million-dollar judgment based on the arrest, discrimination, and excessive force claims. If granted, the supplemental briefing would be due within 14 days of the order, with the response from the defense due 14 days after that. Okay, addressing side chat here. Becca actually did the drawings with the randomizer on the air, and nothing went to... There was no way to actually direct those to people working for WNN at the time, as we all were eliminated from the drawings, and she literally used a randomizer. So let's make sure that there's no accusations towards Becca, and that we're clear on what actually happened with those. The accusations have been made against Dan. Let's center those on Dan. And knocking? You're knocking? What was the knocking?
Oh, cat on the other side of the room.
Okay. I heard knock, knock, knock. I'm just like, what the hell? What
It was
the
a
hell?
cat on... the cat is scratching her ear, and her little paw from the floor a couple times.
Okay. Rose and I are fighting over who got sick first, because I've been on cough drops all day just to be able to speak, and she's got a sore throat. So I say she was sick first, and she gave her cooties to me, and
Right.
I'm going with that one. She says I was sick first.
Right. We would all recommend some tea with some honey in it, but apparently that will also kill you.
Yes, I can't have honey. So,
Yeah. Or tea.
yeah. I can have some teas. It's just I have to be careful about it. So.
Right. No flower teas, right? Only leaf teas.
Yeah, no flower teas. Yeah.
Right.
We've got one last story with an insane person in it, though you could probably apply it to any of the people involved. So let's just click this one and be done with it.
Okay.
Smith Ellis equates Peter to Turtleboy. Reporter Grant Smith Ellis took to Twitter over the weekend with a series of attacks on Mass Hall Troll Mafia leader Kate Peter, equating her actions in helping organize the movement in support of the family of John O'Keefe, the victim in the Karen Read murder trial, with that of Aidan Turtleboy Kearney, the former leader of the Free Karen Read movement. His latest Twitter message read, "Here is a special towel-sponsored Karen Read trial public service announcement. It is possible to support..." Just jumping in, anytime I'm quoting his tweets, it is the software doing it, because I didn't write down his tweets. I didn't put them as part of the article. I just used screenshots. So if the couple of quotes of the tweets are kind of, well, if they don't make any sense whatsoever, that is Adobe, not me being drunk on cough syrup or anything like that. No new rumors. No new... And Rose is now saying, "Stop drinking my tea if you want to live." And that's just because she doesn't want me drinking her tea. It's expensive. Poor justice for John O'Keefe without covering up or enabling the behavior of Kate Peter, just like it is permissible to support accused killer Karen Read, sans liking Turtleboy. Anyone who tells you otherwise is a lethargic devil, or worried that by holding Kate or TB accountable, support for their team will go down. Hashtag Monday Morning Towel Thoughts. The reporter had spent the weekend attacking Peter for her involvement in raising money for lunch on July 2nd, 2024, at a hearing in the Karen Read murder case. She gave out her Venmo QR code for donations, then asked for donations to stop once the amount needed to cover lunch was raised. Smith Ellis tweeted, "Okay, let's talk details. Kate Peter, aka Mattia Masshole, is confirmed private investigator with ties to a number of players in the Karen Read trial. I believe the plan was to get Turtleboy charged as a way to force him to flip on Karen Read. However, that became untenable because LG wouldn't drop certain charges as Kate demanded, thus making that plea deal untenable. Let's talk truth, Kate. It's time folks realize that all sides know what you're doing, and people are talking, as much as that drives you up the wall due to lack of control." Ellis had previously been criticized by both Peter and Kearney for crowdsourcing to cover his lunches when he was reporting on scene at the Karen Read murder trial. He also accused Peter of conspiring with former Kearney girlfriend, Lindsay Gaiatini, to force Kearney to flip on Read by having him charged with crimes against Gaiatini. In continued tweets about the subject, Ellis accused Peter of damaging the movement through these allegations and by supporting the family of O'Keefe through her crowdsourcing effort to cover lunch. He revealed the message from Peter asking for donations to stop as his smoking gun that she was destroying the movement. He tweeted, "Sorry folks, the cat is out of the bag now. What comes out from here is out of my control. I tried to warn some of you. I pleaded. You ignored me. The damage Kate Peter has done is going to come to define this case, and that is heartbreaking." Peter and Ellis had once been friends, with Ellis eventually falling out with Peter over their friendship with Lindsay Gaiatini. Ellis, from reports, had an ongoing friendship with Gaiatini, which ended when Peter and Gaiatini became close friends. Ellis has also essentially been barred from covering the ongoing Karen Read murder trial, and he was allegedly targeted by Aidan Turtleboy Kearney and cohort Jessica Machado in an incident in which Machado had a physical altercation with Ellis that saw her be granted a protection order against Ellis that prevents him from being 100 yards from her. The reporter had been in daily conflict with Kearney over standing in line for the limited seats for press each day at the Karen Read murder trial. The protection order, when Machado then had a daily presence at the court, eliminated Ellis from providing daily live coverage of the trial and ended his ongoing conflict with Kearney. While Kearney no longer leads the Free Karen Read movement, Peter is a rising star of the counter-protesters who gathered to support the family of victim John O'Keefe. The movement started with a handful of supporters, including Peter, showing up to counter-protest during jury deliberations at the trial last month, and has grown to larger crowds showing up to support the family at the most recent hearing in the case. Ellis continues to report from home, as Machado frequents all hearings in the case, preventing him from covering it live.
So Grant's getting more and more bitter. That's my observation.
Well, Grant also has strong feelings about the lack of reciprocation of female affection from somebody and is wilding out because of it.
We can say it because it's Lindsay. He has the hots for Lindsay. She doesn't have the hots for him. And when she rejected him, he went off the deep end just a little bit, aiming it at Kate.
Yes, absolutely. If Kate was the detractor that Grant thinks that she is, she would not be integrated in with the family and those associated. I mean, just plain and simple. I think you can tell who's where, who has what connections by, I don't know, who they show up in public with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Grant's not shown up in public with anybody. So I think he feels excluded. I think he feels rejected, and he's wild and out. And I don't think anything he has to say from this point forward really has any gravity to it, or, you know, some of the stuff that he has said on Twitter is easily researchable. If you just pop into Masshole server and do a couple keyword searches, all the receipts are there. And he's saying that they don't exist. So his his level of excellence in being a reporter is very low right now, given that that material is very easy to access, and the things that he's reporting are half truths at best. At best.
Right. That's why we don't normally report on things that he reports on. We usually do if it's actually in the newspaper and we can confirm it. Yeah, maybe we'll give it some credence. But since 4 months ago, 5 months ago, it was February or March, he's just been really inconsistent. And now that he's fighting both sides and painting himself as the man in the middle, it's just getting weird. Because he's not a match for Kate, and he's not a match for Turtleboy. If either one wanted to take him out figuratively, ruin his career or whatever, either one could pretty easily do it by exposing what he's been doing on his own.
Right. He has some weird stuff in his past that's been kind of touched on that really hasn't been talked about publicly like a ton. He's
Right.
not a he likes to white knight. I think that's something that makes him feel good. I think it makes him feel productive and uses his skills in a socially acceptable, applicable kind of way. But he gets very emotionally tied up in that and then can't really move forward either. So I think all of his
Right.
white knighting opportunities have been kind of cut at the knees, and he's been kind of frenetic and flailing for a few months, and everybody around is kind of just getting splattered with whatever his issues are.
Whatever, yeah. I mean, when he was seriously hanging out with Lindsay, he was going after Turtleboy like he was a lover to Lindsay and not a reporter. And the SA stuff that he was hurling at Kearney, Turtleboy, only made it harder to prosecute Kearney for that if there's any truth to it. Because he's just throwing it out there and throwing supposed facts out there and just confusing the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, there's video of it, so I mean, and we can say alleged because it hasn't been prosecuted yet, but there's
Right.
videographic
And to cover
evidence
our
of it
ass.
happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. He's just accused. He's not been prosecuted. He's not been found guilty. Um, everybody deserves their fair day in court, even when we don't like how it ends.
Right.
Um,
Or the
but
person
there's
involved.
videographic
Yeah.
evidence of that particular situation. So he had something to stand on, but the way that he approached it was not great. You're right. He muddied the waters. With things as serious as murder and SA, you know, muddying the waters doesn't help anybody, and it doesn't give the defendant the fair day in court that they deserve either. Because at any
Right.
point, any of us could be on that other end. At any point, I mean, just look at some of the witnesses and the Karen retrial. It's like they attended a social function with 50 other people at it 4 years ago, and now they're here testifying at a murder trial. Even just something as
And
lower
now,
level as that.
yeah.
you know,
And some of them are being accused of doing the actual murder, like Colin Albert, who wasn't even in the damn house at the time that any of this happened. He was
right?
long gone.
So at any point, any of us could get pulled into legal proceedings that we really didn't have anything to do with, had no idea that this could even be a possibility, and haven't even been around these people for a while, you know.
Right.
And just as easily, you can also be the defendant. So a fair day in court is huge for everybody, and a good defense attorney is huge for everybody. And what Grant's doing is not beneficial to any of the players in any of the circumstances, and that's frustrating.
And you'll see by what they're all doing, all three of them are breaking stories today. So this, if anything, the controversy of the past couple of days has elevated their games as they're all breaking stuff that I'll have to cover in the morning.
Right.
So we'll have updates on that tomorrow. I don't want to end on
Good.
a downer note, folks. So thank you all again for your support. We wouldn't be here without you. We hope we're providing a service in your life every day. Through these newscasts, through these watch parties, through our ever controversial all-star gatherings. We're not out to hurt people.
Yeah.
We're not out here to make you feel bad. We're here just to have fun and be stupid, and sometimes we do become a little more stupid than we should, but we're not here to weird you out or take advantage of anyone. This is technically a safe space, but if any time you feel uncomfortable, let somebody know about it. And there's always the option to take yourself out of the situation for a little bit, come back in when things are better. We're not out here to be hateful or hurtful or to make you feel weird. And before I repeat myself again, just thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this journey. And let's get to 1,000. Let's be one of those big dogs. You know?
I have a
Let's get some revenue
suggestion.
coming in. Sure.
Since we're going to be doing a 500 subscriber celebration, tomorrow night, correct?
Yes.
I propose that we all bring our own sweet treats and we eat them together. Since we can't,
Okay.
get in a room and have cake together, bring a brownie, bring a cupcake, a Rice Krispie treat. I don't know, a stalk of celery if you need to. And let's enjoy that together. Let's enjoy that together and celebrate all of us, because it's everybody together that made a cool environment. We overcame the frustrations of past creators, and we decided to put something together ourselves. And
Yes.
everybody's part of that, and you deserve a sweet treat too.
Other than ice cream. I was so tempted
No ice
today.
cream for Jim.
No ice cream
No
till
ice
May
cream for
18th, 2025. The, 45th anniversary of Mount St. Helens blowing up in my backyard. So,
Okay, weird way to celebrate that, but you do you.
yeah. On that note, folks, we're out of here. Again, we'll be back at normal time tomorrow night at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 where it counts, 4:30 in Mountain Time, and 3:30 on the West Coast, followed by our all-star 500 subscriber celebration at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. in Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. on the West Coast. I hope to see you all there tomorrow. And we're going to hit the end credits. Any last words, Verbo?
I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Okay.
Good night.